Welcome to the Middlesex Moments Show. I'm Marlene Olson, standing in for Dr. Anna Washesha. With me today in the studio is Diane Bordonaro, who's the Allied Health Coordinator here at Middlesex Community College. Welcome, Diane.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you on the show. There's so many exciting things happening in the allied health field. So why don't we start a little bit with the kind of more traditional side, the certified nurse aide.
Okay. Well, our certified nurse aide program is our largest program here on the non-credit side of the college. It's a short-term training program that allows people to work in healthcare without pursuing a long-term degree. It's an ideal program for someone who wants to work directly with patients. You are the front line, you are the eyes and ears of the nurses on the floor when you're a certified nurse aide, and you get a lot of patient interaction, so it's a very rewarding career.
So this is a vital team member. This is not just someone who's in the background. This is someone who's working directly with the nurse as part of that healthcare team.
Right. The certified nurse aide does everything for her patients that you would do for yourself in the morning. She helps them with their meals, she helps them with their grooming, getting ready for the day. She provides a lot of companionship for the patients. So she really is the one who interacts most with the patients more than any other health team member.
Someone who's looking to retool, to get back into perhaps a field that they had thought about when they were younger, but they took a different path. How would they start the process of looking at coming to our school? Or what are some of the things they should think about in order to say this is a career suited to me?
Well, our short-term training programs on the non-credit side of the college are ideal for that because it allows people to experience their career without a long-term investment. So most of the time, students will pick up a catalog, one of our non-credit course guides, thumb through it, see if there's something that strikes their interest, and then give me a call. I'm willing to talk to any student who wants more information, who wants to find out more what the jobs are like, what pay scales are like. It's all important information, and we're willing to spend time with each student who has an interest.
Well, with unemployment really being such a concern right now within the state, within the nation, even further, this is a field that still has a lot of demand for qualified staff, isn't it?
There's absolutely a lot of demand. CNA jobs are opening every day. I get calls from employers on a regular basis to work in long-term care facilities, to work in rehab facilities. We're looking for CNAs who are willing to work in home care, directly with patients in their homes. We're also looking for patient care technicians. Right now, the hospitals can't find enough qualified patient care technicians.
So what's the difference between a certified nurse aide and the patient care technician?
The job duties are essentially the same in that you're providing care directly to the patients. The setting you work in is different. A patient care technician traditionally works in an acute care setting, meaning in a hospital, so the patients are not as stable. You need to be very well organized. You need to interact very well with other members of the healthcare team. A certified nurse aide tends to work in a long-term care facility or a rehab facility or home care where the patients are more stable.
So there's a little bit of something for everyone depending on what your interest is. Okay, I'm with Diane Bordonaro, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the Middlesex Moment Show. I'm Marlene Olson. Joining me today is Diane Bordonaro, Allied Health Coordinator at Middlesex Community College. We were talking about the Certified Nurse Program, and we were just beginning to explore other types of allied health programs here at the college. Personal care technician was one?
Patient care
patient
care.
A
patient care technician, or PCT, is a nurse aide who works in a hospital and has some more advanced skills. In addition, we have great programs for people who want to work in healthcare but who don't want to do direct patient care. For example, we have a pharmacy technician program where you can be nationally certified to work in a pharmacy right alongside the pharmacist, assisting with the prescriptions and the business side of the industry. Great program to get into if you want to work in healthcare but do not want to do hands-on patient care.
I think there's a few people who would enjoy that type of career.
Absolutely. And there's positions open. Those students end up working in our community pharmacies like a CVS or a Rite Aid or a Walgreens. They can also work in a hospital pharmacy because there's a pharmacy within each hospital which employs for pharmacy technicians.
That's one of the things that I've noticed in each of the communities that I kind of travel through is there are a lot of pharmacies that are being CVS, Walgreens are just popping up everywhere.
Right, very competitive with each other.
I can see that, and they all need employees.
They all need employees, and they do call us looking for qualified pharmacy technicians.
What about, are there other programs like medical transcriptionists or any of those sort of things?
We have a medical billing and coding program.
Okay.
This is one of our longer programs. It's very involved, and I'm sure you've all heard in the news the new ICD-10 codes that come out. The codes for healthcare have increased exponentially, so there is a demand for this field. Students.
So what are the codes? Is that something that defines patient care that
It's
allows it to be easily billed?
Right, exactly. It's a code for each diagnosis or event that occurs in your during your health care, and the doctors need people to enter these codes so that they can be billed correctly.
I can understand them needing someone to understand the codes in order to build this. So that's definitely an in-demand career coming up.
It's a great field to get into, and again, you want to be in healthcare, but you don't want to do direct patient care. So.
Now, some of these programs have like health requirements and lifting requirements. It sounds like some of the ones that are behind the scenes might not, but some of the ones that are directly in patient care would.
Right, absolutely. If you're going to work with patients, you will have to lift, even though we have all the mechanical lifts these days.
Right.
You still want to be in good physical shape. However, if you've been perhaps injured on another job and you're looking to get into a new field where you don't have to be as physical, the medical billing and coding program may be the right fit for you.
So there's something for everyone, again, in this type of field.
Again.
What are some of the other things that are being developed at the college that's kind of new and upcoming?
One of our hot programs is our new veterinary assistant program, and we have partnered with Piper Memorial Veterinary Center to offer this program.
That's a magnificent location. Their new patient care, pet care, patient pet care center. I mean, the emergency room facility is second to none.
Right. It's an excellent facility, and we keep our instructor to student ratio very small in this program so that students can have a lot of hands-on time with the animals and also with the equipment that's in the hospital. All very important. Our veterinary assistants aren't just playing with the animals, they're actually working alongside the technicians and the veterinarians, and they're responsible for restraining the animals, for reconstituting vaccines. They prepare instruments for surgery. They may assist with an x-ray. They collect
really
lab
exciting.
specimens. There's a lot that
yeah.
they do. And, by keeping our classes very small, the students are actually learning in the facility, and they're doing rather than sitting in a classroom and just reading about it.
I would think that would make them extremely valuable from an employer's point of view, because now you have someone who's coming in with real hands-on skills, just theory, but they've actually worked alongside the healthcare provider. Wow.
Exactly. They're ready to do the job.
Oh, wow.
So
I could see where this would be very valuable. Now, did they help develop the curriculum for this?
we actually formed a veterinary advisory board with veterinarians in the area, along with members from the education community. We had members from a high school VOAG department. We had members from other veterinary technicians. So it was a community came together and decided what would be best for this program to get students trained as veterinary assistants.
So a lot of thought went into this, and the program launched how long ago?
The program
couple
launched
years?
in the fall of 2010.
Okay, so it's still young.
It's still young. We've been through it a couple times. Very, very popular. The classes fill up quickly. So I would encourage anyone who's interested, to call us right away. If you're not sure if it's the right program for you, we offer a 6-hour introduction to veterinary assisting. That gives you a behind-the-scenes look at the veterinary hospital. Talks about the career, some of the basics, so that you can just spend a few hours learning if this is something you want to pursue further.
Now, is this something you can take in the summertime, this introductory course? Is it offered in...
It's offered in the fall and in the spring.
Okay.
We also run a special section of our introductory course for 14 and 15-year-old students.
I didn't know that.
So if you're, a high school student who wants to explore a career, this is a great way to, really be in the facility looking at what the members of the veterinary team actually do. So.
Well, sounds like we've thought of almost every avenue to get people into this field. So that sounds really comprehensive.
Working on it
Yeah, I
anyway.
see that. There are a lot of things. Large animal clinics. Is there anything that we're going to be doing along those lines? Because I know you have the actual small animal hospital, And, well, of course, any veterinary office. But what about the large animals?
Well, there is a large animal component to our veterinary assistant program. We cover it in the classroom, but the students actually do go out to a dairy farm, spend one of their clinical labs at the dairy farm. They also go to an equine stable, and they learn how they would assist a veterinarian who is coming out to the horse farm or the dairy farm. So there is that component to the program that's up and running now. So.
I can remember a very long time ago, and seems like a second life. When I was an emergency medical technician, we had responded to a lot of farm accidents. And one of the things we had to learn was how to be safe around some of these larger animals.
Right.
I mean, they'll just lean against you in a stall and you're in trouble. Not even malicious, just, moving over.
Right.
So
safety is very,
Safety's
very important.
huge, right?
Yeah. Safety for you and safety for the animals, too.
Of course. So it sounds like a lot of exciting partnerships. What do we have that's coming up in possibly transferring some of this knowledge into a credit side of the house, actually going after a associate's or a certificate degree on that side? Are there any things in the works?
Well, our Veterinary Advisory Board has been working with us on developing a 2-year associate's degree veterinary technician program.
Okay.
So, and this is something that we've been looking forward to. We've been working very, very strong, putting a lot of hours in on getting the curriculum together, deciding how the schedule's going to work, partnerships with Piper Memorial Veterinary Center again, so the students will be able to learn in their facility. That's up and coming. Once it gets approved, we'll be ready to launch and take in students. So.
Oh, no, can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be very interested in that.
People are watching closely to see, as soon as it's ready. Yeah.
I've often heard people say, Middlesex Community College, it's in Middletown, Connecticut, and they kind of say that's where all the classes are. But that's not really true in your field, is it?
No,
the
absolutely
classes are
not.
offered in a lot of different places across our area.
Right. We try to bring our classes to the students. We know that a lot of our non-credit students have difficulty with transportation, so we try to bring the classes close to them as possible. Our Certified Nurse Aide program does run in the Meriden Center, as does our patient care technician. So just, within walking distance of the bus station in Meriden, very convenient. In addition, we run a CNA class down at the Shoreline. The students have their class right in the old Saybrook Town Hall, and then they do their clinical training at Essex Meadows. So, to meet the needs of our Shoreline students, we try to bring it right to their community. So.
Didn't Essex Meadows actually help us out with putting in like a patient care lab?
They do.
I think we have one in Meriden too.
Right. There's a nurse aid lab in Essex Meadows that our students have access to. They've been very accommodating. Another
that's a
great
incredible
partnership.
Amount of, that's a lot of support.
Right.
Now the one in Meriden was recently funded by a grant.
The Meriden Lab was funded by 3 grants, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, it's brand new equipment that's in there. The students have gotten a lot of use out of it already. Great way to practice your skills before you actually get out and work on patients. A lot of times CNAs are nervous to start. They're a little unsure of themselves, and this gives them a chance to actually practice. It's set up like a patient care room.
I can really understand that. I'm thinking to myself, how would I make my patient comfortable and myself as well when you're doing all the things that are very personal to the person?
Right, exactly.
So I would imagine a lab would give you all of that ahead of time so you could really work on feeling comfortable, doing the right thing, and I think that would equate to the patient feeling comfortable.
Right. It gives you a chance to organize your care a little bit, take your time so that when you actually do get into the patient's room, you've done it a few times.
Yeah, you're confident.
Practice makes perfect.
And they know that. Yeah. I would think that would be an important part of all of this.
Absolutely.
Okay. If I wanted to explore this further, are there any info sessions, or do I just kind of explore it on our website, at the college website, or should I just come in and chat with you?
You can do all of the above. We do run some information sessions. We do have an information session launching Wednesday night, February 1st at 5:30 for our patient care technician. It's free to anybody who wants to join. So if you're interested, give me a call. We'll get you, signed up for Wednesday evening. If you don't have time to call and you want to just stop in, we'll be in room 606 of Chapman Hall at 5:30.
Feel free to on the Middletown campus?
On the Middletown campus. So you're free to come in and find out what we're talking about, take a closer look at the program.
And there's no obligation to this. I mean, just come in and learn a little bit about the field.
Come in, sit down, talk to some of the other students that are there. We run through what the career is like. We talk about job opportunities and pay scales, which is very important to a lot of people.
Of course it is.
We researching a career. So
Yeah.
absolutely. We do have all our class schedules up on our website under continuing education. Okay,
Okay, so they go to the home page, click on continuing education's at the top part of the homepage website.
right. Click
Yeah?
on continuing education, and then when you see the drop down bar, select healthcare, and all the healthcare programs will be right under there.
So one more time, when is that open house?
The open
coming up?
house is Wednesday, February 1st at 5:30 in Chapman Hall.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Okay, we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the Middlesex Moment Show. Today with us in the studio is Diane Bordonaro. We've been talking about allied health careers, but we're going to kind of take a little different track, still health career, but we're going to talk a little bit about personal trainers.
Personal trainers are people who work in a gym or a fitness facility, and they assist some of those, myself being one of them, who don't like to exercise. Okay, they let you understand what exercises are best for you, and they teach you how to use all the equipment that's in the facility. Okay. We do have the course here on our campus, and we also offer it in Meriden. Students spend about half their time in the classroom learning about the different techniques and muscles and all the skills that go into being a personal trainer. And then they take the other half of the course and they actually go into the gym, partner with Meriden YMCA, and the students spend their other half of the course in the gym learning how to use the equipment, learning how to train people on the equipment. Once they're finished with the program, they do an internship and also are allowed to sit for a national certification exam. The national certification exam is part of our program, so once they become certified, they can take that certification anywhere in the country with them.
So what kind of people are interested in taking this? Are they typically people looking for a complete career change or a new career, or doing this part-time?
A lot of our students are looking to supplement a career they're already
Okay.
doing. This is a great part-time job. You know, personal trainers are in demand early in the morning hours and also in the evening hours.
Makes sense. That's around the hours that
Right.
all of us work.
Whenever the gym is busy, then that's when the personal trainers are most in demand.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
so it's a great way to supplement, your career, your other income. So.
Along the shoreline, was there any programs that we're offering in personal trainer along the shoreline?
Right now, we don't have any direct plans to offer anything
Okay.
down there. It would be something that we'd be exploring in the future. But right now, our programs are Middletown and Meriden.
Okay. So personal trainer might be something that if you're looking to supplement your income and you've got those peak times available, give us a call and take a look at that as well. That or info sessions.
We don't have any info sessions, but if you want more information, you're free to give me a call, or you can pick up one of our catalogs. We have a Saturday class. It runs for 6 Saturdays, which is great if you're working full time and you're looking to pick up a class on the weekend. We also have an evening class that runs Tuesday, Thursday evenings in Meriden. Another easy class to fit into your busy schedule.
Diane, you personally have worked in the healthcare field for quite a few years.
Yes.
Did you start out with this type of teaching position, or were you in healthcare as a registered nurse?
Well, I am a registered nurse, and my career through the years has transitioned quite a bit, which I always tell students is the best part about going into nursing, because there's a lot of different areas you can work in. I did work in the hospital for quite a while. I worked on the maternity unit, labor and delivery, postpartum, and nursery. Then I transitioned into a public school system and worked in a high school. From there, I transitioned into another college and was working in their college health center. I really found that I enjoyed working with students. Working in healthcare and working with students to me are ideal. You get the best of both worlds. And then when this position opened up, I thought it would be an ideal fit for me.
Now, you must have worked with Winnie Standish when she was here at the college.
She was my predecessor. I didn't actually work with her. I took her place.
Oh, okay. So you never had a transition period with her.
No.
But she was a spectacular individual as far as personality and her style of presenting it.
Yeah.
And I think she, like you, had many careers before she came here to Middlesex.
Right.
So that's something that people should think about with healthcare careers. There's so many options.
Right.
You're not happy one place, you can transition into something else.
Absolutely, because there's people who need health information everywhere. So there's a lot of potential out there.
Were there any surprises when you started working in a college versus working in a hospital?
It was hard to make that transition at first.
Oh, really?
One thing I noticed was the noise level. I went from the hospital actually to a high school, and the
Oh,
noise level in a high school
I
compared to a
understand.
hospital was a big surprise to me. there's other things, in the hospital everybody wears an ID badge, but in a school system people at that time were not.
Oh, no, they weren't. You're right.
It's very simple things, but yeah, it was a big transition. Yeah.
Because I used to work as a pharmacy technician, and of course holidays, weekends, nights were all part of the healthcare experience.
Right.
So when I transitioned into a teaching job, one of the things that I found wonderful, or at least very different than what I had before, was a Monday through Friday schedule. I'd never had that before.
Yeah.
And in some ways I missed being off on a Wednesday or working some of the holidays because there's a bond with healthcare professionals that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed being there on some of these holidays because everyone made it special for the people who were there.
There's advantages to both types of schedules. I think what's really important is that when you're in a healthcare, you can find a schedule that fits your family life.
Right.
If you're home and you have little kids and want to work an off shift, so that you can share childcare duties with your spouse, there's certainly that opportunity for you.
A lot of people are considering that these days. Splitting up the duties like that would be helpful because it reduces the cost of having the kids into either a daycare system or babysitters and stuff like that.
And patients need care 24 hours a day,
yes, they do.
7 days a week, which makes lots of job opportunities
for our
students.
All right, so we covered things from taking care of animals to taking care of healthy bodies or making bodies healthy, let's put it that way, to everything in between. So there's so many different allied health and related careers that you can get into, and a lot of them are very quick. I mean very quick.
Right.
Some of them are like 6 weeks, and what would be the longest?
The longest program is probably about 20 weeks.
Okay.
So,
and 20 weeks and in a career.
Yes, exactly. So, there is something for everybody. Whatever.
What about funding? Are there different ways to get into these programs through programs within the community?
Well, because these are non-credit programs, you can't get any funding through the college's financial aid office, unfortunately. However, we work very closely with Connecticut Works, CT Works, and they do have funding. Most of our programs they do cover in full. So if you were to qualify for funding, then they would pay for all of your education, including your books, uniforms, whatever you need. Connecticut Works right now has funds available for dislocated workers. So it's a little bit different than just, unemployment or someone who had a financial need. I mean, if you're
a dislocated worker would be someone where a program has closed and
for whatever reason you're out of work, they don't look at your income level, they're looking at what your worker status is, and if you've been dislocated due to layoffs or business closures, whatever, you may qualify. And so I would encourage you to contact Connecticut Works and see if they have funding for your education.
I think a lot of people don't know that.
It's
important.
They
think because they have to be in a certain income bracket, and that's not the case at all.
That's no longer what they're looking at. The important thing is that your worker status, your employment status has changed. So.
All right, lots of opportunity out there. Future of the programs, are any of the programs, are you looking to expand into LPN or RN or?
We're not looking to expand into any licensing programs. I mean, we are staying with the unlicensed assistive personnel type programs. We are looking to get some clinical experience for our patient care technicians. We've been working closely with Middlesex Hospital to develop a program for that. We're always looking at the new, what's up and coming.
Right, right. So. Well, there's always something new. When I was in healthcare, the LPN was very prominent. Right. And the patient care technician hadn't really been born yet.
Right.
The pharmacy tech was something where you learned on the job.
Right.
And now there's certification. So everything kind of goes through a process where the position is needed, that need is filled, and then it becomes a little more standardized, and from there to certification to perhaps licensing.
Right.
Seems to be the route that these types of positions go through.
Right. It's all about making sure that the care we deliver to our patients is at the very best. And so there's always going to be transition, looking how we can do a better job, making sure our health care is safe and affordable.
Okay. Why don't you give us the time and location for that free seminar coming up on patient care technician?
Okay. Patient care technician is a free orientation. We'll cover the program, we'll cover the job opportunities. It will be held Wednesday, February 1st at 5:30 in Chapman Hall, room 606. Okay.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the show today. And if you want to take a look at Middlesex Community College's site, it's mxcc.comnet, spelled COMMNET.edu. This is Marlene Olson, wishing you a good day.